Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. It's ThandiwekaYah. Today I have a prophetic word of encouragement for South Africa. A few months ago I had dreams which I didn't really understand in their fullness, so I didn't know which angle to take them from, and only now God has revealed that He was just showing that there was some things that were going to happen here. So I'm going to read off my phone just so I don't forget anything and so that I don't ramble. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of imagery, in these dreams there was a lot of waters being stirred, and the waters would become really dark and be have like tornado like waves. Yeah, so that's the kind of imagery that I had in the dreams. Okay, so what God downloaded to me today is that initially all of this comes across very scary and quite disheartening, and I mean it can really instill fear in the hearts of people. But God is saying that even though there's all of this unrest, there's all of this turmoil, His hand of protection is over His people. It's over the people of South Africa who are hopeful in Him, who trust in Him, who understand that certain things need to happen. There needs to be chaos before there can be a divine order. So God is implementing His plan, and He's just showing how that the nations will be in turmoil. And I mean, we have many nations in this country at the moment, and that is where the big issue is with the unrest in the country. So He was just saying that it may appear as though doom and destruction are upon us, but God is protecting His people. The turmoil will come to an end, and it will have no impact because of the hand of God over His people. Hey, how encouraging is that? And God was just saying that He wants us to trust in Him and to pray with thanksgiving and praise. That is the key part. Not to pray out of a place of fear, out of a place of trembling, because all of this is just it's really been stirred up by the enemy, because the enemy is panicking. They're in such a confusion because of the shift that is happening in the world at the moment, the shift that is happening in individual lives at the moment. So the enemy is just throwing everything that he can out of his box of tricks. So we can't be trembling over what the enemy is doing. So we only tremble before the Lord. So God is saying, pray from a place of thanksgiving and praise and joy and just victory, right? And the scripture, so before I go to the scripture, I remember someone saying this. I don't know who it was probably a YouTube video that I watched, but they said that fear is faith that the devil can harm you. So I mean, just that alone changed my whole perspective on what fear is. And I personally don't want to have faith in anything that the devil does. So I'm just encouraging us to just not be gripped by fear in this time, but instead to have hope, to have faith in God. So God says, be expectant, because this too shall pass. Right, and then the scriptures that I have for this prophetic word, the first one is Isaiah 66 verse 7 to 11. And it reads as follows. Before the birth pains even begin, Jerusalem gives birth to a son. Who has ever seen anything as strange as this? Who ever heard of such a thing? Has a nation ever been born in a single day? Has a country ever come forth in a mere moment? But by the time Jerusalem's birth pains begin, her children will be born. Would I ever bring this nation to the point of birth and then not deliver it? Asks the Lord. No, I would never keep this nation from being born, says our God. Rejoice with Jerusalem. Be glad with her, all you who love her and all you who mourn for her. Drink deeply of her glory, even as an infant drinks at its mother's comforting breasts. So when I read the scripture and God gave it to me, I was like, but God, I don't, I mean, it says Jerusalem a lot in this passage, but God says, yes, this is for South Africa. This is the word that He has for South Africa. He's already begun something, and now it's the birth pains, but it's already been done. The son has already been born. So we just have to endure the birth pains, but only beauty can come out of it. So I had to be faithful and obedient and bring it to you. And then the second scripture He gave was Isaiah 60 verse 1 to 3. And it reads as follows. Arise, Jerusalem, Let your light shine for all to see, for the glory of the Lord rises to shine on you. Darkness as black as night covers all the nations of the earth, but the glory of the Lord rises and appears over you. All nations will come to your light. Mighty kings will come to see your radiance. So guys, there is hope for South Africa. And like I said, God just wants us to stand in prayer. He wants us to be close to him and to hear what instructions he's giving us at this time, and how we need to move as a people and what we need to do. But the most important thing is to remember to have faith and to pray from a place of thanksgiving and praise. So I thank you so much for watching this. Guys, remember that God is a good Father and that you are special to him.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathe your life in me. You have been so, so good.